friends, welcome to Jiku Diaries. It was indeed a special occasion to be a part of, where Sports Journalists Association of Mumbai felicitated 18 of its own for their distinguished services to the field of sports journalism over the years. The felicitation was done at the Wankhede Stadium premises in Mumbai on May 29th. It was indeed a grand get-together of all the sports journalists who have done yeoman services in the field of sports journalism across languages, including English, Marathi, and Hindi. Journalists who have worked for news agencies as well as newspapers were honored for their services, and some of them as distinguished as Mr. Shirodkar, who made his debut in the field of sports photography way back in 1962, was present today for the felicitation function. Among those included were Ayaz Memon, who covered the 1983 World Cup in England and still contributing to the field of journalism. S.S. Ramaswamy, a senior sports journalist who, if you all remember, was part of this Jiku Diaries way back in 2022 from Australia's ICC T20 Men's World Cup. It also includes, among those felicitated, Mr. Dwarakanath Sansgiri, popularly and fondly called as Pappu Sansgiri, a doyen of Marathi sports journalism. And also, among others, were Sharad Kadrekar. Felicitation was done by former India captain Dilip Vengsarkar and former Olympian who ran in the 1972 Olympic Games, Mr. Edward Sequeira. 18 such distinguished sports journalists, retired and some still contributing as freelancers, were felicitated. A few of them could not attend because of either not being present in the city or for health reasons, but it was still a fantastic occasion thanks to the efforts of SJAM under the presidency of Mr. G. Vishwanath. To be accepted and to be recognized by your own fraternity, there is nothing like it.
Over the years, I am the Garware Club. I never came here. This is the first time coming here since it's been done. 2011. But since I'm not. Anyway, it is fantastic to be here. The Sports Journalists Association Award function. I remember I received one as the best cricketer of the year in 1978 at the hands of Hanuman Singh. I still remember that. And of course, SJAM is a great service to sports in Mumbai. I think every sports journalist plays a very important role in the careers of sports persons. And I still remember all those guys, and see, all the familiar faces here over the years when I was playing. And great to see Mr. Shirodkar here after many years. I remember when I started my cricket in Guideship. Whenever I used to score 100 or do well, at those days I used to in Hindu colony. I used to go early morning at 5 o'clock to see all the newspapers. And which newspapers carried my photograph of the headlines. And I would buy those newspapers. That was those days, great days. And of course, I remember whenever you score 100 in Ganesh or Harishil, Girish Dixit used to come to our tents in Azad Madan Cross Maidan. And he used to take us to Times of India building and he used to take our pictures. And Girish Dixit, over the years, I did it very regularly. And I would like to thank you for that because that was a great inspiration for all of us. And seeing your picture in newspapers and the headline newspapers. Once again, all of you, Rishi, and all your colleagues, and you done a fantastic job over the years. But I would like to announce that one award, again, the Best Young Cricketer Award, and I would like to pay at least 25,000 rupees for that every year. And I hope you accept that because young cricketers these days. And good to see Ayaz here. And Bane is always there for cricket matches with Santosh or Mohan, Vijay. Vijay has been there for all the academic games and he takes pictures and has been a great help to all of us. Once again, thank you very much and good to see Edward Sequeira. Edu has been my colleague in Taras for many years and we were on the third floor of Bombay House. Edward, Milind Dege and Ranjan Bendu used to be there, Patata Steel, Tata Power, and we worked Patata for many years. I mean, he's a fantastic athlete, and good to see him very fit till today. All the very best, Edu. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, I am an athlete who held 3 Indian records on my name and 1 Asian record on my name, and 3 of them stood for more than 27 years. Nobody could break it. But one thing I can never forget, ladies and gentlemen, the person who brought me up is Dr. Otto Pelzer, who was brought to India. He was a world record holder in 1500 meters. He showed me how to run, but don't get scared of the world-class runners who are running with you. And I said, yes, Doc, I will keep on breaking records after records. Let it stand for more than 27 years. But one record is still there from 1966, that is the mile record which I created. And the other record is the state record. Of course, it is 65 years and I'm sure nobody will break it also. Because in 1966, I was running into the world standard. Dilip was there also. World standard I was running. The world record was 335.1. Jim Ryan was holding it. And Doc said, break that record, world record. Be a world-class runner. I said, Doctor, I'm trying my level best. But I'm coming close to that, but I cannot break that record. So this is how it happened, my dear friend. I went for the 1 Olympic Games, 1 Commonwealth Games, and 2 Asian Games on my name. And 15 years I ran for my country, won many, many medals. That is what I am today. But ladies and gentlemen, in my life, I will never forget one thing, which I ran in Munich 1972 Olympic Games. I'm sure all of you know what happened in 1972. I was there, I was running on the 5th of September That was the day I can never forget in my life. And when I was fast asleep at 4:20 in the morning, these terrorists, 7 of them, with red tracksuit, black bag, and a black mask, came inside on Israel building. India was I, Israel was I, they were opposite each other. I was on the ground floor, and these terrorists went to the 3rd floor, 7 of them, and got 11 Israel athletes. They put them in one room. They knocked at everybody's door, 2 in each room, and they put them all in last room. And finally, when they went to the 8th, 9th, this one that was shout and all that. And I was fast asleep, and I said, what is happening? They said, run away, run away. I opened my window, and I found everybody jumping from the 1st floor, some of them going, running here and there. And finally, what happened? Ladies and gentlemen, I said, I'm come here for the Olympic Games to run. And that was the day of 5th of September. Can you ever forget that? 5th of September, there was an announcement at 10:30 in the morning. The event for today has been postponed to the next day. So I had to run my event 5,000 meters on the next day. Now, if you look at that, if I had a camera with me, I would have taken the photograph of the terrorists. We were just opposite each other. And then, what happened? One of the terrorists was talking to them on the 3rd floor. And about 7 in the evening, there was a van, police van waiting down, and they brought the terrorists. Terrorists brought those 11 athletes of Israel down from 3rd floor to the ground floor, and they all went in the police van. I was looking at them from my window. They went to the airport. And finally, what happened? At the airport, we got the news that all of them were shot dead. This was the state on the 5th of September. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the day which I will never forget. Last year, it was 50 years. Israel, there were ceremonies, prayer meeting, everything was there. But I was also praying for all those athletes who have done nothing. And they were all bodybuilders, weightlifters, and all those people were there. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for once again inviting me.
Let's keep the claps going, ladies and gentlemen. Keep the claps going. Having covered all mega sporting events. And he says, inspired. Keep the claps going, ladies and gentlemen. Keep the claps going. Thank you. We've heard Fredun sir on many mediums, but if you could request him to say a few words.
But I would like to thank the SJAM. Actually, when I joined it, I joined the Sports Journalists Association of Mumbai in its very inaugural year, and I cannot help but think back to those days when we had Sharad and SK Shyam and Ron Hendricks and Kadrekar of PTI who was there always. We were all kids, we were all youngsters. We had Gopi Bhaskaran at Sports Week, and I recall that when Garwade Stadium was built, we used to come here and watch with Polly Umriga as the stadium was coming up, and Polly Kaka, as everybody called him, would be here at the stadium supervising the ground and supervising the stands and everything. And when Garwade came up, the members of the Sports Journalists Association of Bombay were offered memberships for 300 rupees, and I became a member. And then my colleague, who was the sub-editor, Gopi Bhaskaran, he turned to me and he said, look Freddy, you are not going to be in this profession for the rest of your life. You are going to quit. He knew I was going to become a lawyer. And he said, why don't you give me your membership? So we gave him, I gave him my membership. Unfortunately, Gopi expired. I don't know how many of you knew him. but he expired of cancer just a few years later. But anyway, it's been good reviving old memories and meeting Edward Sequeira, who used to come over to television and Doordarshan for commentaries on athletics and for interviews. And of course, Dilip, whom we have seen grow up from the time when he took on the great spin portrait in his university days and played an innings which in IPL would have probably won him the orange cap. Anyway, so thank you very much, SJAM as it is now. I keep referring it to as SJAB, and thank you very much for this great honor. Thank you.
Soccer and World Cup of cricket. He has, over a period of time, a proven track record as a writer and a reporter. Sharp with the story and a fine hand for editing. The man in the know of developments across multiple sports. Competitive, yet friendly, and helpful with fellow journalists. Jemi Bardoliwala. After a short stint with the Parsi community periodical, he joined as an assistant in a national news agency, UNI. He has, over the years, reported on almost all the domestic and international cricket matches in Mumbai, and also the Olympic sports.
Yes, can I have a big round of applause for Jemi sir, he's right here.
शक्कर में से इसको कितना स्टोरी दिया था मैंने
Sir, don't worry, he's already told me that he'll be speaking. He's already told me.
Thank you, Vishwanath. I am told that when he is sleeping, his mind is organizing something. If you ask me, how will you start again? I join a bank. Imagine the loans I'll get and I don't know to pay. What I was doing there, I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much.
Mukesh Papriani. From the dusty playgrounds of his childhood to the grand arenas of international sporting events, his life has been a captivating journey through the world of sports photography. Born into an era where schools paid scant attention to sports, he found excitement behind the lens of a camera. Peter Rodrigues. It was not a fondness for the written word that drew him to journalism. It was simply sports, no more and nothing less. Add to it the prospect of interacting with the grassroots, youth, icons, stars and the superstars, and he settled for nothing other than a career in sports journalism. Enterprising, energetic and full of exuberance, this lensman was an important part of the photography fraternity in Mumbai. He never missed an opportunity to make it picture perfect.
Mr. P.N. Shirodkar. If we can have a really big round of applause. And if we can have a standing ovation, the senior most. A debut in 1962 and we are in 2024.
Raymond Fernandes. He served as a sports journalist in 3 different periodicals. As a journalist, he thoroughly soaked himself in the friendly atmosphere of love and brotherhood that prevailed among the sports journalists.
Association of Mumbai's Distinguished Service Award. A few words, Raymond sir?
Friends, my name is Vitre and I am a friend of the Sport Journalists Association of Mumbai. I had a great opportunity to work under S.K. Shah, who took me as a trainee in free press way back in 1971. After that, I worked with ATP Sarpi for daily for 5 years, and then finally for Indian Express since 1980. Those were my three. I made a lot of friends among the sport journalists that time, and I really miss their company now since I am retired for about 5 years. Thank you.
Satish Mishra, having explored 39 countries, pursuing a career in sports journalism, has enriched his life in multiple ways, offering professional fulfillment and personal joy along with excitement. It was the right path that he chose, which brought positive life experiences for him to cherish.
Yes, if I can invite Satish Mishra.
Sharad Kadrekar. It has been a glorious journey spanning 44 years of being a sports journalist. And every moment for him feels like a dream come true. He has covered not just cricket, but also a lot of other sports like table tennis, swimming, squash, billiards, snooker, and many more. Suhas Joshi, a multilingual journalist, his focus over the years has always been on promoting Indian sports. His work in sports journalism, covering many sports over the last 40 years, reflects that different and unique choice he made in this profession.
थँक यू सुहास सर. अगदी छान सांगितलं त्यांनी की असे काही आनंद त्यांना मिळाले की जे खरंच बऱ्याच.
Ramaswamy. He has covered the Olympics, Asian Games, and cricket tests and World Cups, mostly in India for the PTI, before becoming an independent journalist. He has proposed a collaboration between the Sports Journalists Association of Mumbai and top journalism colleges to provide invaluable professional insights into the challenges faced by sports journalists.
I'll make it short and sweet. Thanks a lot, SJAM, SJAB, for choosing me also as one of the recipients of this year's award. And thanks to Dilip and Edward Sequeira to take your valuable time off and facilitate us. Thanks a lot.
Vinayak, he has had a wonderful journey of 44 years in sports journalism. In his childhood, he read and played a lot of sports like cricket, kabaddi and kho-kho. And eventually, he ended up covering them. And even today, he continues to do so.
Yes.
Good evening, friends. I just want to congratulate SJAM for hosting a function of this type. It's very important that the senior journalists are being felicitated today, and it's the new generation which is sitting in this hall which has got a lot to pick up from them. We have seen as administrators interacted with these people who have been felicitated today, and I felt very proud to be present. I wanted to be present today, to be a part of this function, because recognizing the old generation is something which is always the torch bearer for the future. Thank you very much.
Sir, इथे बघा.